How are we doing? Welcome. Hopefully you can hear me. I think you can. Welcome to the Young Fan Podcast. Good evening. How are we all doing? Welcome to the live chat. Welcome to another predictions and preview episode here on the Young Fan Podcast on a Thursday evening. It feels like a while since we've last done one of these. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. I think you can. Let me just double check on there. Let me just add a little light as well. 1 second. Let me just add a light to the backdrop a little bit so you can... I think it might be okay, actually. No, let's do it. 1 second. Magic. Right, so let's get into it. We have got... There's no sound. No sound? No, I think we are okay. Someone just said no sound. We should be fine. Right then, let's get straight into it. We've got some light in the background now as well, so we're not in like a cave. That's always nice to see. You can hear and see me. Amazing. Right, let's get into it. We've got some corkers this weekend. We really do. All good. Fine here. Amazing stuff. Right, so 4-0 written over. It says, what a way to spend a Thursday night. Hopefully I can make your Thursday night a little bit better. Let's wait and see. I don't want to put too much pressure on it. Not too much pressure. Brandon said, only joking. That's fine, Brandon. Don't worry. To be honest with you, I'm glad someone said it. There is sound. Amazing. Right, so let's get into it. We can't mess around. First and foremost, though, please do leave a like and subscribe. I feel like a while since we haven't... Feels like a while since we last did one of these. It has been quite a while, but it's good to be back. It really is. It's good to have a little chat with everybody and catch up because these are quite relaxed. Of course, a lot of the episodes we do on the podcast are quite... not pre-recorded. I mean, some of them are pre-recorded. Most of them are. The predictions and previews never have been, to be honest with you. So we'd like to keep it quite relaxed, keep it a conversation. We've got a live chat here. If you're watching this on a pre-recorded episode, because this will be going up as a video after, then please leave a like and subscribe. The comments will be open, so you give your thoughts in there usually. But yeah, we can sort of have a real chill discussion. Get involved. I'll be reading most of the comments that come through and most of the live chats. And yeah, we can have a really good one. Day off from college, doing work and listening to this masterpiece. Thank you very much for that. I'll try and make it a masterpiece. That is something that, well, it is in my control, but I feel like there's a bit of pressure on that now. Some incredible games this week, and there is, Connor, you're right. Been waiting for the stream till 4. Glad to be here, says Luke. I'm glad you've waited this long, Luke. Jake Tong says, 2-2 prediction incoming from you. Well, you are a side that I do like to predict a pretty familiar score, Jake, and 2-2 is the one. It is the one normally. Right, let's switch screens then. Can we do that? I think we can. Is that okay? Does that work? And does that work? That should be okay. I'm going to just double check and make sure that's okay. I've got my voice over there. That's my end. I'm just making sure we switch over there, and things are okay. Brandon says, I'm just making sure we can hear me. I think it is. Right, amazing. All gone to plan so far. Had a really bad day relying on this to cheer me up, says Brandon. I'm really sorry to hear that, Brandon. Hopefully I can do such a thing. Robert says, Pompey 3-0, heard it here first. Confidence from Robert Tugway. Matthew Reeves says, do you think Dean Holden will renew his contract to go to a championship club in the summer? I mean, to be honest with you, Matthew, that is on the agenda. He might not be waiting until the summer. That might happen very soon. That might happen in the next couple of weeks or so. Huddersfield linked quite heavily to Dean Holden. 2-0 Bolton. Hi, mate. Do you think any other clubs will get automatic promotion except from Argyle and Wednesday? Derby County are coming at you. Of course, Ipswich are also there as well. So, you know, we've got that talking point that this really has been there for the majority of the season. But you look at it, new candidates, and Ipswich certainly have to be in that mix with Derby County, who keep on grinding results. You can see their form in front of us now. They are really doing quite well. Bring on Wycombe at the end, 4-0 win to Derby. Brandon Simpson, is this mainly thanks to our ticketing? I think we've got a little bit of a ticket allegation discussion between a Peterborough United fan and a Bolton fan. Of course, one of the games this Saturday. Shelley says MK Dons 3, Oxford United 2. It wouldn't surprise me, Shelley. It wouldn't. Ruben, Pompey win. Connor says Peterborough ticketing. Yeah, seems interesting. Seems like we've got a really exciting debate. Any ideas on Ryan Hardy's availability outside of the window, says Jake? I've been told nothing. But he is up for sale. By the way, as well, I'll say this now because I will forget, which I shouldn't forget, but I will make sure I say it now. I've been nominated somehow by the Real EFL to do a or to be put forward for an award. I think it is. I've got to get it right. It's embarrassing if I get it wrong. It's a League One Vlogger/Blogger Award. I've been nominated down to the final 4. Nominations have been sort of happening for a week or so now. We've got to the final 4. I managed to get through. I'm up against some amazing people. Nappers is one of them. And, of course, we know Nappers has been really ill quite recently, and it's amazing to see that he is getting better, and he's someone that I'm sort of up against, which does show the competition is high. We know the content that Nappers creates, it's top-notch. So, we're in a bit of a challenge. We are the underdog, I'd say, but we're in the mix, which is amazing, and that's down to you. So thank you so much for that. And, it's amazing. Jake says, don't say somehow, you absolutely deserve it, son. Jake, you're too kind. Luke Collinson says, met Trafford on Sunday, and he said he's not scared of Clark Harris, so I'm trusting him. He's lying to you. Clark Harris is a beast. MK Don's ninth in League One. Is that what you hope they're going to finish? That could be quite a recovery. Wednesday 2-1. Pompey will finish 10th. Interesting. Right then, let's go to the first game then, because I'm very, very wary. We've been live for a period of time, and we haven't cracked on yet. We'll come back to Ipswich versus Sheffield Wednesday. I've got a feeling that's one that a lot of people are here for, so we'll come on to that. I'm sorry about that, but that's just the way it is. Let's start with Burton Exeter, which actually is quite a good one to talk about, because Burton and Exeter, you can see here, Burton, bit of a resurgence. That isn't the word, is it? Resurgence, that sounds better. After sort of being not nailed on for a bottom 4 finish, but they did look like they were going to start the season ropey, conceding a lot of goals, but also scoring quite a few as well. You can see 56 hitting the back of the net. The second most goals conceded for Rovers, who are currently bottom of the league, do trump them by 1 goal. Burton on 37 goals scored. So you can see, and the reason why I bring that up is because there's a bit of a misconception here. They do ship goals. That's ship. Things that are on the sea, but they do score quite a few as well. So you've got to be very clever to how you defend against Burton. Because they are quite a live one. We experienced it a couple of weeks ago. Oxford United, they score a real range of goals, and that is really what's sort of getting them out of the mess. Back-to-back wins for them as well. They're in good form and at home. Exeter are 11th in the league. We've spoken about Exeter really the entire season, how I think they have got better and better, even though they lost their manager Matt Taylor. There's sort of still been this sort of consistency of high-level quality football from Exeter, and I mean that in performance and in result. You can see where they are on the league table, a little bit inconsistent in the last 5 games, but look at it from a general perspective, they've done very, very well. I will briefly touch on it, and I've got to be very careful what I say because it's an ongoing investigation, but people will ask me sort of, there is an aspect and there is some news that's come out of Exeter, of course, with Giovanni Brown. That's all I'll say on that, and him not being there for a good reason, by the way. He should not be playing football while this is going on. While the investigation is ongoing, of course, they are without Giovanni Brown, who is their top goal scorer. So they've got to adapt in a footballing sense. And again, I'll be very careful what I say because it's a very, very sensitive matter and it's far bigger than football. But when we look at this game, they are going to be without Giovanni Brown for obvious reasons. That's going to be... it's going to be a factor they've got to deal with. You can see by looking at the odds as well, 38% chance of winning Burton, Exeter 37%. Get your comments in, get your score predictions in as well. 2-0 Burton, 3-1 Exeter, 1-0 Burton, 2-0 Burton, 2-1 Exeter, 1-1 draw, 4-1 Exeter. Jake says, could do with Exeter dropping points. I think Giovanni Brown's antics might have caused a stir in the camp. Jake, you're right there. I didn't read your comment before I said it. I want to be very, very careful what I say, but yeah. That probably is something that's going on there. Still a quality side. I think they'll both score 1-1 for me. I literally wanted Brown so bad to Bolton, so glad we didn't. It's important to say as well, without going too far into it, and of course, innocent until proven guilty is something that we probably should go by. Well, let's not pile on anything heavily now, but what he's accused of is obviously very, very it's disgusting. So we've got to be very careful. But it is right to sort of add that into this discussion in some form, in light form, really. Burton 38%, specifically 35%. Very, very tight, actually, with the bookies for this one. 1% specifically, and when looking at them and the odds they've seen this season so far with these sort of results, it's also very, very close as well. Exactly the same, both on 35%. Let me get my pen out, because I always sort of end these streams and just go... What did I say again? What did I say? So let's make sure I get this down and make sure I don't forget about it. I probably will go with a draw. No, I'm going to go... I think Harris might be watching. If he's not, then... If he does see this, then I'm sorry. I actually can see Burton winning the game, and I'm going to go 2-1. And I rate Exeter very highly, but I also think Burton right now, they're on form. And there's a bit of an inner spirit in that Burton camp right now, that there is a lot of negativity around the fact that they were, like I say, very, very positive candidate in a negative way, positive candidate to go down, and they're actually sort of salvaging what was a really quite terrible first half of the season. And I know, we can't look at short term, and short term bias is the thing, and we've got to be very careful that we're not biased when looking at the short term. That can be very, very damaging. But I would say as well, you've got to look at form, and form is massive, and home advantage. So I think I'm going to edge towards Burton there. I wouldn't surprise with the draw, it wouldn't. And to add some more confusion into my prediction, I wouldn't be surprised if Exeter win, but that's the quality that they've got. But actually, if I'm going to have to go with a solid call, I probably would go with Burton Albion, but do let me know. 0-0, 2-0 Burton, both defenders scoring from corners. This is one of the games you expect City to win, but will probably make it really difficult for ourselves, it says Benjamin Smith. It's got a bit of a banana skin all over it, to be honest with you. It has. I was going to use this as an example again when we lost 2-0. But yes, that is unfortunately the way it is. MK Dons versus Oxford. Should we get this out of the way early? Because just let's get this discussion done. MK Dons versus Oxford United. A relegation 6-pointer. I've been joking about it all week, but no, I don't think it is. I think that's quite disrespectful actually towards MK Dons more than Oxford, because our form right now is relegation form, you'd say. I think we can all agree that this weekend has some really big fixtures. The GOAT is back, says Dylan Moore. That's not my brother, but I do know Dylan. And He's in here, and he's hopefully going to enjoy some League One discussion. And he's joined us right at the moment where Oxford United are going to come into conversation. And look, like I said, let's get this out of the way. I normally leave Oxford till quite late, and I don't know why I do it, because it just drags on. In the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, I've got to think of a prediction. I've got to think of something to say, and I always do leave it quite late. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure I get this out of the way, and I don't have to think about it, ultimately, which is quite sad when you talk about your own football club, but that is the way that football fans work right now, when they're in a bad run of form. This is going to be another really difficult test for Oxford, and even though MK Dons, haven't had a very good season, the last couple of games we have seen an improvement. Actually, look at couple. The block of 5 have been good. I think Mark Jackson now is getting an improvement out of this MK Dons side. Player-wise, I've actually got some really good ones. I think the gel of the players is what's let them down. Key players leaving in the summer, but I always said, and I've been quite consistent in saying with MK Dons, I actually think that squad is good. I actually think the players they've got in that squad, and the young players they've got in that squad are really quite impressive. I think they're building something in the long term, and this season it hasn't worked. This season it hasn't been the case, but I still think they've got ingredients in there that can make a good squad. They need big improvements in the summer. They do probably need another overhaul in the summer, which won't be ideal. But I still think there's enough ingredients in this squad to at least stay in the league and then push on again into the second half of this season, short term again, long term next year. With Oxford, I mean, it's just an ongoing frustration, isn't it, really? I don't want to keep going on about Oxford United because I've sort of done quite a few videos or bits of videos on it, but the situation is very, very clear. We're not in good form. There's a lot of sort of uncertainty around the manager, lots of unfortunate sort of toxicity on social media, and again around the football club right now, which is not nice. It's not nice to have that sort of not nice to have that sort of cloud over you, especially as a fan and being part of that fan base. It's not nice. You want everyone to be on the same hymn sheet, really. You want everybody to sort of be in support of the football club that we all love. And right now, the biggest shame is that isn't the case. And what can we do about it? We really can't do much about it. We've just got to hope that the team does pull through. There's quality in that squad. There's gaping holes in that squad. And that's where we are, really. We probably will finish where we are now. I expect us to be 15th. People have been saying, are we in a relegation battle? Points-wise, maybe with the games in hand other teams have got, potentially. But I do think we'll stay in the league. I'm not concerned about that. This might get clipped up and played at the end of the season if we do catastrophically go down. But I don't think we will. I think we will stay in the league because maybe I am biased because I want to so desperately to be in League One, and that's where we should be, I think. We've got aspirations to get out of League One, not down the bottom end, down the top end. So, look, of course, it's making it nervy, and it's a boring season right now. But it can be made more exciting in the wrong way if we get dragged into a relegation battle. But I think it's going to be quite an interesting game. I imagine it to be quite tight and not a great one, to be quite frank. Last season, though, these two sides would have made a really, really good hash of a football match in terms of quality of football. Liam Manning was doing such a good job with MK Dons. Carl Robinson was sort of not the peak of his powers, but certainly doing better than he is now. And the quality of football was exceptional. And you sort of saw two sides playing a really attractive brand against each other. The football encounter would have been quite fascinating, but this season we're both sort of quite turgid. We're quite low in confidence. I'm worried for the encounters, to be honest with you. Dean Lewington, I don't think is the actual Dean Lewington. I think I know who it is, but he says hello. Get Danny and Nicky in while you still can, says Jake. Has Exeter been yet, mate? It was the first game. Unfortunately, the Exeter City vlogger, I did predict a loss for you. I said 2-1 Burton. You can go back and watch it at the end of the video, at the end of the stream, and go back and watch it. Or you can go back now, it's up to you. But I did do Exeter. That was the first game. This game then, odds, actually, I looked at them earlier, just being behind MK Dons when looking at the bookies, 38%, 37%. Am I surprised by that? Not really. By the way, it should be mentioned as well, MK Dons' home form is horrendous. Bottom, 10 defeats from 15, only won 2 games. Our away form is better than our home form, which says quite a lot. I think it's better, actually. It's 15th. It might be. I don't know. It might not be. I mean, we're 15th for the away form. I think it is. 16th. Tight. It's close. I always thought the away form was better. It was closer than I thought, I'll be honest. But no, it is better. And MK Dons' home form is poor. I'm going to go with a draw, though. I'm just not confident at the moment. And actually, if I was being really cruel, I probably would maybe go with MK Dons to win the game. But I've got to look at it from a perspective of there's got to be a reaction soon. There's got to be something that's going to happen around the corner. And people would say, well, their reaction's got to be a win. But I don't see that. I really, really don't. I think the confidence is on the floor right now. So, yeah, I'd go MK Dons. I think Jake said 0-0 earlier. I don't think it'll be that. I'm going to go 1-1. I expect a couple of goals in the game, but I'm going to go 1 apiece in that one. Lawrence Smith says, come on, Charlton. Charlton will be featuring in the video today. They've got Fleetwood at home, I believe. I think I'm right in saying that. In fact, let's go there now. Let's do that now. Charlton against Fleetwood. Lawrence Smith, you convinced me. You have convinced me. That's not the right game. That's later on. That is later on. Our new centre-back, that is not the right one. Let's go back. Our new centre-back out with injury, so Tucker's playing, who's been shaky. Of course, Tucker joined from Gillingham on a free transfer in the summer. Andy Shippo says, come on, Derby. Exeter against Charlton, 2-1. Raksaki with one of the goals. He hasn't given me another Charlton goal scorer, but I wouldn't be surprised if Raksaki scores. He's a good player. He's done well on him from Crystal Palace to be tricky. I like Raksaki. He's a game changer. Raksaki versus Fleetwood, you mean? Maybe. I presume he does. I presume he does mean that. Right then. A lot of debate actually today. I won't say debate. It's not really a debate. Conversation and a little bit of a footballing chat around Dean Holden. Of course, currently Charlton Athletic manager. Only given a contract until the end of the season, if I'm not mistaken. I know there's quite a lot of people that came through the door. Technical director, head of recruitment, lots of faces. Dean Holden was one of them. Of course, when Ben Garner got sacked. There's a takeover situation at Charlton anyway, going potentially under the radar. I say under the radar, it's quite public, but it is happening. I think it's sort of somewhere within the football club, as well as on the pitch stuff. And also a potential manager debacle now. I think Dean Holden is potentially in the running for the Huddersfield Town role. Of course, maybe he wants that sort of certainty that he's going to have a long-term future at a football club. And right now at Charlton, only having a contract to the end of the season suggests that isn't in place at the Valley. So again, you have to look at it from a personal perspective. Does he want to stay at a football club where there isn't that sort of guarantee of a long-term future? Charlton might react to this and go, right, we're going to put you down on a 3-year deal. I think Dean Holden deserves a contract from what he's done at Charlton so far, very early days. But I just think, even if he's not the guy, in the long term, even if he's not, you've got to give him something, because you can't go and lose another manager. Maybe this new owner that's going to come in, I think there's rumours of it being the Charlie, is it Charlie Mentham? That might not be his second name. Charlie something. He was in the Sunderland Until I Die documentary. He took over from whoever was there before at Sunderland, but he took over. I think it's his now company SE7 that he's now looking to sort of, his consortium are looking to take over Charlton. If it is him, good luck. That's all I'll say. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe he learned quite a lot about his time at Sunderland being a very heavy failure, not a success. And I think he was pretty much not hated, but certainly disliked and not in favour of at Sunderland. So maybe he's learned a little bit from that. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I probably would say with Charlton, keep Dean Holden just for that level of continuity, because continuity in football is very important, and there has been an improvement. In fact, you can see that in the form. 4 wins in the last 5, only lost to Bolton, that was 2-1, and Bolton were a better side than Charlton, but we knew that anyway. I think that was one of those where on paper Bolton sort of just got the job done, but there have been improvements, and Charlton have lost games that they shouldn't have lost this season, and Dean Holden's come in and there has been an improvement there. As for Fleetwood, Fleetwood's a poor one out of the bag for our Napper, says Jake. I hope so. I like Charlton, but of course, I hope that Nappers can see a win. It's been a while, unfortunately. 4 defeats on the bounce. If Wednesday win, that's Ipswich done. All the pressure on Town. Wednesday lose, still 3 points clear and game in hand. John Messina masterclass. Yes, Brandon, I'll be sad to see him go, says Matthew Reeves. I mean, this is a question for anybody right now. If you're Charlton, I could do a poll, but I don't really want to sort of mess the stream up too much. If there was going to be a poll, so you could just put yes or no, maybe in or out, would you, and this is a purely external perspective, would you want to see your manager, and in Charlton's case, you can give it from a more personable point of view, but if you're just not a fan of Charlton, you can still, I guess, give your thoughts. Would you keep Dean Holden right now? I think I probably would. Just like I say, for that level of continuity and the success that he has brought since he's come through the door. Not ultimate success, I should be careful, using the word success is dangerous, but I think there has been an improvement there. Charlton 51%, Fleetwood 25% actually, so Charlton are heavy favourites. Form plays a part, home advantage is key as well. Although I really hope Nappers gets to see a win, and I don't think he's going to the game, but I hope he does see it in some form, whether he watches it. I imagine he will be following it. I've got a feeling Charlton might do it, and Matthew says 100% in. Archie Quinn says keep. Yeah, I think I would. I think it'd be quite naive to let him go. Maybe that it's not in their control. Championship side Huddersfield will have that pulling power, but they're struggling in the Championship. There's a high chance they could get relegated. So Charlton, what's the better project? That is something that we don't really know, especially from a financial perspective anyway. Charlton are the Pompey's bogey team, so I hope they get a crap manager to help us when we play them next season. J1DE is thinking very much in advance. Thanks, Archie, says Lawrence Smith. We look much better under Holden. I beg he stays. Lawrence Smith says, I know. I would say that. I would say Dean Holden has come in, and I think there's a bit of an aura around him. He's getting those players play the way that they probably should, because it's not a bad squad. So, yeah. I'm going to go Charlton. Fleetwood's away record always just does me dirty, though. 2-1 Charlton, I'm going to go with. But if it's 2-2, and Jake Tong knows exactly how much I like a 2-2, wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. By the way, 89 people watching right now on this Thursday night. It's been a while since we did one of these. So, yes, make sure you do leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for the support over the last couple of weeks, months, and years now. But certainly the last couple of months, the growth has been incredible. So, yeah, we'll definitely be continuing on the growth. If you want to be part of it, join the journey, join the community, hit the subscribe button. Some big things coming very, very soon as well. Can't say too much right now, but we're going up in the world in some form. My own world, maybe. I don't know. That's for you to see. Yes, I agree. You done Wednesday yet, mate? No, I haven't. No, I have not, Joe. But you can stay tuned and make sure you don't miss it, obviously. Well, let's be real. We aren't even reaching playoffs this season. Defensively, we've been awful. However, we have really suffered from injuries, and this Dyson Bernard looks incredible. I've heard good things about this Bernard on loan from Manchester United. Tom has been risking lyrical about him, so we'll see what happens about that. Luke Collinson says that Morley free kick was something else. It was a good strike. I don't agree with some of the signings. Penny seems bad, and I understand some loans, but still a hole over the gas, as Matthew Reeves. Yeah, that was weird. Once again, didn't spend a penny. Which, it can be done. Teams have got promoted without spending money. They probably have done. It makes it more difficult, but they have done it. But the reason why I mention that is because the technical director you brought in said there was going to be funds for them to sort of to splash. Maybe it was a very, very low budget and it got spent on loans. We'll have to wait and see. But Tom, what a lad. What site are you using, by the way? This one here is SofaScore. Plymouth versus Portsmouth next. Wednesday, 1-0 Wednesday. We'll nick it. 4-0 written over it. Baby. Maybe. Right. Did we even start a new game? I don't think we did. I think we just was waffling around Charlton. That's what we were doing. Cheltenham Town against Accrington Stanley. I think Pompey will get the playoff promotion. Raksaki, best player in League One. Big call, Lawrence. He's a good player in League One. Best player. Seems bold. Cheltenham, 18th in the league. Pretty rough form recently. Unbeaten. Winless. They wish they were unbeaten in the last 5. Winless in the last 5. Accrington, similar really. They have won a game. It is better than Cheltenham's, but only quite closely. I mean, to be honest with you, these are two sides that are struggling. These are two sides. Didn't realise Tom had a second account. Where's Tom's second account? Is Tom's second account in here? I don't know. Oh, I think maybe he's he's saying that might be Tom's. Don't know. The sign and reveal videos, they're unmatched. Yeah, unfortunately, Matthew, you don't get promoted off sign and reveal videos. If you did, then we probably would be relegated. Ours is pretty horrendous, but you're right. Barry Bannon is the best player. Right, let's just... Yeah, I love the best player chat. How to define best player? You can't compare someone like Bernard, for example, who's a good player. I probably wouldn't say he's the best player at all in League One, but he's done quite well. And you can't... He's an example, by the way. And compared to Barry Bannon, who's an attacking midfielder. Let's be sensible. Let's have a discussion on footballing terms with a little bit of fair comparison. Cheltenham 48% chance of winning. Accrington 28%. 48 and 28. 67%, 23% specifically. Interesting. League is not ready, to be fair, because we have Tom Lowry, Joe Rafferty and Ronan Curtis all returning this week. And there's some of the best players, so John Messina is taking us up. Woo! This season? Don't know. Captain Doe says the day, every day. I believe he's a contract extension for him as well. Joe, how Sheffield Wednesday are the best team. I mean, right now, the league table doesn't lie. They are the best team in the league. Right then, what are we going to say for this one? Get your thoughts in. Get your thoughts in here. I'll be honest, this doesn't have a great... I'm a bit worried about the quality of football in this game. Sorry, I could be proved wrong, but I know Cheltenham and Accrington this season haven't exactly been amazing when it comes to pass-burst sequences, and they haven't been playing sort of short, sharp football. I imagine quite good direct football, which does work in League One. It does work, but this feels quite big in... I mean, it is a bit of a relegation. I mean, there's only 3 points between them. Close. Accrington do have a game in hand, actually, so it could be... The goal difference is fairly similar, isn't it? Yeah, so it could be really, really quite tight. This is such a big game when you look at the relegation zone. Could do with Portsmouth beating Plymouth this weekend, and then our game with Plymouth will be even sweeter in a few weeks' time. I couldn't think of two more boring sides, says Brandon. I didn't want to say it. They're your words, not mine, but I am slightly concerned about the football we could see in this one. And by the way, I'm an Oxford fan, so I have no legs to stand on here, but I am a little bit, purely based on the stats, this could be a little bit nitty-gritty, which is fine. But yeah, if you're sort of tuning into any League One game this weekend and you sort of want a great advert of the type of football that we can play in this division, probably wouldn't switch this one on. I'm just saying. But like I say, don't switch on MK Dons Oxford either, because that probably won't bring you too much joy. It certainly won't bring me joy. Cheltenham versus Accrington. Do you know what? My guts are saying 0-0. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts. What's the home and away record looking like? Accrington away. Not great. Bottom four. Cheltenham's home record. Not great. They're both sort of in their position that you normally would see them. Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1. I don't like predicting 0-0 draws, so I'd probably go 1-1. But, you know, it wouldn't surprise me 0-0. Oxford are so dirty. I rate your players, but you play dirty football. Yeah, well, that's because we're pretty rubbish at doing everything else, mate. We don't choose to. But no, this season we have tended to go towards the dark arts. I like using the word dark arts, the two words dark arts. It makes it sound better. But yeah, we have been playing a little bit clumsy. 2-2, 1-0 Cheltenham, 1-0 Accrington. Mixed thoughts. 91 people watching right now. Please do leave a like and subscribe. We've got lots of people in here right now. And some of you might be subscribed. I imagine some of you are. Some people might not be. And that is a great opportunity to go and subscribe. So if you're going to do that, that'll be amazing. Do it now. On Tuesday, we have Oxford, says Ruben Lord. I imagine, in fact, I know from that comment, you are a Plymouth Argyle fan. And that seems tough. Question, if the worst happened to Oxford went down, would you follow them and do League 2 or League 1 still? And the same the other way round if they got promoted. It's a question I get asked all the time, Joe, and the answer is I don't really know. That would only have to be answered, and I would only have to think about that really if it happened, to be honest with you. And it would have to be an important decision, Joe. I 100% understand your question. And it is one that always keeps coming up. But yeah, it's tough. The honest answer is I really don't know. I really, really don't know. From one corker to another. Morecambe against Forest Green Rovers, 21st versus 24th. You can see Morecambe's recent form, although I take the mick a little bit, Morecambe's form recently has been quite good. And once again, similar to Burton, I thought Burton and Morecambe, they were my bottom two. Unfortunately for Accrington, Cambridge and Forest Green Rovers, it has just got worse and worse. And those two have improved. You can see Morecambe 3 wins in the last 5. I mean, that's playoff form, isn't it? That is playoff form. It's nearly the same as Barnsley. Unfortunately, before that, they were pretty rubbish. But I think, once again, in this one, Forest Green Rovers, again, with new manager Duncan Ferguson's come in, I want to see what Dunk can do, what Big Dunk can do. So far, it's a struggle. It is a real struggle. And they're a little bit under the cosh. 2-0 against Peterborough United. That's a tough game. And then against Shrewsbury, they were 1-0 up with 5 minutes to go, and they lost the game 2-1. So far, we've sort of seen a bit of a mix of what Forest Green are all about under the new manager. He still believes they can stay in the league. I saw a quote earlier saying he still believes they can stay in the league. So I respect the honesty. Maybe he's not being honest, but I respect the confidence anyway, or the optimism. I have to wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised. Bold prediction. Maybe the wrong place to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if both of these do go down, to be honest with you. I think I did have both of them to get relegated. Actually, maybe Forest Green Rovers. I think I might have had maybe a potential call for Forest Green Rovers to stay in the league. If I did, then I might look like a muppet. I might not, but things are tough. It's a team game. They'll miss, but they've got a strong squad. Jonathan Clark Harris, his name is a shop. Paddy Lane is a baller. Paddy Lane is a good player. Oxford for 12th place every year. Wow. Maybe. Hopefully not. Morecambe, 40... Oh, right, because you mean about trying to... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to wait and see. I hope we don't, but there we go. Morecambe, 40%. Forest Green Rovers, 36%. Bookies have got it quite tight. I can see why. Form will play a part. You know what? I back Morecambe here. Give me your thoughts. Last two games, Forest Green Rovers have looked 10 times, well, 100 times better, says Jake Hopkins. We just can't score, which isn't helpful. We don't win, we're going down. 100%. A lot of pressure, Jake, you've put on your side there, because this will not be easy. But I get what you mean. It feels important, doesn't it? 8-0, Morecambe. Morecambe actually played some decent stuff on Saturday, coming from a Derby fan. Pretty sure he spanked them 5-0, but it's good that they can play in patches. 5-0 Morecambe again. 5-1 Shrimps. Oh, I'm sorry. Who was it earlier that just said there? Jack Hopkins. Yeah, sorry, Jack. I'm probably going to predict a defeat for you. I'm probably going to go 2-0. Sorry. That seems quite convincing, actually, doesn't it? Have you seen Pompey's loan of Owen Dale? I know he's on loan at Portsmouth. Do you think we should make him permanently? Or should we sign him permanently, sorry? His output's been poor, hasn't it? His output's been quite poor. Good player on the ball, though. Good technical player. Needs to work on the final output. But, no, he's a tricky player. It depends if John Messina wants him. Depends how much Blackpool want for a permanent deal. 20-0 Morecambe. Connor? Maybe not. Maybe. Have stranger things happened? I mean, the grand scheme of things, yeah, most likely, but still, 20-0 seems quite convincing. Let's go to Shrewsbury versus Port Vale. Lawrence Smith scored an own goal versus Charlton. What you did? You did, personally. Don't know, maybe you did. Have we got an ex-professional footballer in Lawrence Smith? Scored own goals against Charlton in the chat tonight. I'll go into every game expecting a loss at this stage. Can't see us winning at all 3-1 Morecambe. Well, Jack, you know what? I'm glad we can agree in some way. Not in terms of the scoreline, but, you know, yeah, I know what you mean. Amazing technical ability, but one out team struggles to shoot. Yeah, I think, it is that outball. It is that output. Right then, Shrewsbury, the informed Shrewsbury side. I think they are the most informed team, other than, well, with Derby and Sheffield Wednesday, which does say quite a lot and shows the improvement of Shrewsbury and what Cottrell's doing there over a period of time now. Injuries played a part. Now they're growing. Now they're getting better and better. One thing I say about Shrewsbury is they're clinical. Really, really clinical. We saw them play on Saturday and they were dominated. To be fair, we probably deserved on another day to get something out of the game. But we didn't because we're not clinical and they are. They take their chances and we don't. And that is a very simple part of football. I say it a lot of the time. Football is a simple game, believe it or not. And when you take your chances like you do, Shrewsbury are going to be in a really, really good place. I mean, talk about a really good result when you're 1-0 down with 5 minutes to go. Like you say, against Oxford, you're under the cosh. You don't have the majority of the ball, but you still manage to grind out a result. That's what good sides do. And dare I say it, Shrewsbury, that's what sides do when they're pushing to get into that top 6. And Shrewsbury have that ability to do so. 44 points, only 3 points. 3 points behind Barnsley. I love the maths. And they haven't really got a game in hand. In fact, they're the only team above them up until Bolton in which they don't have a game in hand on anyone. Wycombe have 1 on them. Peterborough and Barnsley have 2. So there is that added element that will make it a bit more difficult. But you can end up win and win the games that's in front of you. And that'll be the mentality of Shrewsbury, who are at home against Port Vale. who have struggled in recent weeks. Some of the bizarre officiating at Port Vale and at the EFL League One just in general does continue. I watched the clip. I don't really understand what's going on. So Port Vale will be a little bit hard done by. I feel hard done by with that. But having said that, Port Vale have generally done very, very well. And although the recent form doesn't suggest that, you look at the entire season on a more general basis, similar to Exeter really, they have done very, very well. Tipped to go down by so many people, including myself. They've been fearless and seem to be very complacent against them. That has to be said. Have we got the odds? Doesn't look like we do. We do indeed. 42% to Shrewsbury, 31% to Port Vale. 99 people watching right now. Please leave a like, please do subscribe, and also share the stream. Can we get to 100 at one point today? That would be brilliant. 100 people watching live. Sometimes I do think, which is probably a bad thing, I think 100 people, if I all got them lined up, that feels like quite a few people. And that is amazing. There we go, 100 people. Please do leave a like and subscribe. Amazing, amazing stuff. By the way, the captain section of this stream is wrong. We're at Home Park, not Fratton Park, on Saturday. Oh, the thumbnail or the title? Oh, maybe it is the. Oh, you mean the comments? I don't know. Either way, I'll change it after. Have you done Wednesday yet? Says JJ. No, I haven't. That is coming up very, very soon, shortly, when I hurry up with these ones, because these have got so many talking points as well. Shrewsbury. God, I'm torn here. I'm going to go... I don't know. I back Shrewsbury right now. I'm going to go 1-0, though. I'm going to go 1-0 again. Back-to-back 1-0s for Shrewsbury. They're so clinical. And their form right now, you can't argue against it. You really, really can't. So fair play to Shrewsbury. I think they're going to win the game. And if they do, who knows? Vale struggling to win at home because of our awful pitch, so playing away will help. Hope Taylor is fit to make his debut in a 2-1 win. Says Andrew Rawlinson. Sorry. I've butchered that second name. Rawlinson. Sorry, Andrew. 3-0 Wednesday. Description. I will change it after it, mate. Have we done Bolton yet? I haven't done Bolton yet, but I will do that next, actually, because we're powering through. Peterborough United versus Bolton Wanderers. Let's have a chat about this one. Let's have a conversation about this one. Where are we? Here we are. Right then, Peterborough United against Bolton Wanderers in outside. Travel to Peterborough to face Duncan Ferguson's side. Not Duncan Ferguson, Darren Ferguson. So many Fergusons in this league. Not Sir Alex. He is the father of Darren Ferguson. Hopefully some of these Fergusons can start replicating what Alex did for Manchester United a couple of years ago. But right now, we're having to deal with Peterborough United and Forest Green Rovers, which is fine. But I'm just saying, not quite the same. Dion Charles has won Player of the Month. He has been in good goal-scoring form. Up the Addicts, 2-1 Peterborough United. Bolton are massive. 2-1 Posh. Is your Wi-Fi slow today? Are you suggesting that the stream isn't very good? Hang on. Peterborough United versus Bolton Wanderers. Seems alright. Seems alright. I don't know. Is the stream bad? Is the stream not good quality? Do let me know. I think it looks okay. Maybe it might be a little bit slow on this website, but that's because I've got more tabs open than someone with a lot of tabs. So yeah, if the stream's not, if it needs help, let me know and I'll try and help it out. But the stream is good. They're loading the site. Yeah, that's not me, mate. That's just SofaScore. Blame them. Well, you could blame me. I'll pass it on. I don't actually think I've got any contacts with SofaScore. I might do. You can sponsor me if you like, SofaScore, if you're watching. Kieran West has donated £5, which is very, very kind of him. Kieran says, love the content, lad. Keep it up. Kieran, that's very, very kind of you. Very, very kind. You don't have to donate these sort of things. I always say that. Don't donate. Don't donate that. I'll butcher that. Don't donate your money. You really, really have to do it. But if you do, then it is heavily, heavily much appreciated. So thank you so much, Kieran. And that'll be going into the podcast fund, which will be hopefully put back out to the content that we produce. Kieran, you're a legend, mate. Robert says, are you at... Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Jimbo, did I miss the Wednesday massive game? 1-1 or 2-1 posh? Our first big test under Fergie, so will be interesting. Scott says stream is okay. That's good. This channel is going to blow up soon, mate, says Rafe Thomas. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, it's doing all right at the moment. That's amazing. Have you done the biggest game of the weekend yet? No, Lincoln has not been done just yet. Jimbo says huge. Thank you. Thank you. No, he has not, Lawrence. And by the way, we're not talking about Ipswich versus Sheffield Wednesday. We're talking about Lincoln City. Well, we've done. Well, no, let's not. Yeah, we've done MK Dons Oxford, which is big. That's the biggest game. Then Lincoln. Then the rest of them. Peterborough 44%, Bolton 32%. As a Bolton fan, 2-1 to Posh. Quite a close one, actually, isn't it? Peterborough sort of staying or trying to stay in that mix. I think they still will. I think Darren Ferguson, we've got a fan calling, by the way, coming out next week. Hopefully tomorrow, actually. We're probably going to be a part 1 and part 2. But we had Peterborough, a fan, come on, and he was sort of speaking about how I think now Darren Ferguson, although it maybe wasn't the most attractive appointment because he's been there 4 times, he does know the players, and he also knows what it takes to get out of the league. So you feel now Peterborough United, they're getting a bit of a run going. He's won every game since he's come through the doors. So there is that positive. And then you look at Bolton as well. They've won 3 games on the bounce, exactly the same form: a win, a loss, and then 3 wins on the bounce. So there is that real bonus, and then there is that sort of added aspect of the encounter. Bolton need to stay in the mix. They've got a bit of a cushion now, so they'll be pleased about that. And I look at Peterborough United. They're really chasing. So it's tough. There is that bit of it. Posh at home are a machine, 3-1, and Jake makes an amazing point, like he always does. Jake is the king at making amazing points. There is a home record there that Peterborough are good, 9 wins from 13. If we look at the away record for Bolton, where are we looking? Yeah, 8th, just around there. So look, it's actually quite similar. The home form to the away form to both these clubs is fairly the same around to where they are now. A couple of places left for Bolton. Maybe, but you still feel as though there's going to be quite a good game. And Bolton, we speak about turning up when it matters. These are the big games. I think I'm going to be quite critical of Bolton, which I'm going to be, of course, shouting and screaming about how well they've done this season. We're having to speak about 2 sides here, and in this case, Bolton have got to turn up. They played against Derby a couple of weeks ago, and they absolutely crumbled when it matters. They can't do that. This is a game similar to Derby in that sense, where you've got one side in Bolton that's sort of pushing to sort of stay in there, and then you've got sort of Peterborough who are just climbing and chasing. You can't bottle it in the least football analytical perspective. You can't bottle it. You've got to see through these games. If you want to be a side, the playoffs, for example, these are the type of games you've got to be clever and intelligent and also professional to see through. Vale have 3 strikers injured at the moment. That is why we've stepped up recently. Yeah, that is a big blow. Wilson, Harrison, lots of these names that are out. Peterborough United, thanks, Jack. No problem, Jacob. No problem. Which game are you going to? Me. This weekend, I'm not going to any game because I'm here in London, where I am at the moment, so that I can't go to the game, unfortunately. But I will be watching it. I will be watching the game, MK Dons versus Oxford United. And also as well, by the way, if you want to tune in, you don't have to. I 100% understand. You don't really have to go through this extra piece of my chatter. But I am on the radio after the game. Oxford United versus MK Dons, or the other way around. MK Dons, of course, are the home side. I'm on the radio, BBC Radio Oxford, at full time. Wasn't at the game show. I love going on there. A lovely chat with all the people over on BBC Radio Oxford. So if you want to be part of that, then you can tune in. I definitely recommend if you're an Oxford fan or an MK Dons fan. Maybe you just want to hear my thoughts on the game. Not quite sure if you're not an MK Dons or Oxford United fan why you put yourself through it, but you can do so. It's up to you. It's a free country. Lawrence Smith says, I'm going to the Valley. You're going to the Valley to watch Fleetwood Town versus Charlton Athletic. Right then, how are we getting on? Barnsley versus Cambridge. Let's go there. Do you have to be in Oxford to listen? No, you don't. If you are on BBC Sounds. BBC Sounds should be where it's at. 124 people. It's BBC Sounds wasn't at the game. DF Gaming. 124 people watching right now. Please do leave a like and subscribe. We should get over 100 likes mathematically. That's how it works. Surely. Let's see if we can do that. That'd be incredible. Please do show your support. Subscribe if you haven't already. How many subscribers are we on? We're pushing through. 4,182 we're on at the moment, which is brilliant. How are we doing with the likes on the stream? 116 people watching at the moment. We have got 29 likes. 29 likes. Let's push that up to 50. Push that up. And, yeah, we can do that. It's free to do, so just smash the like button. Hi, says your best friend. Hello to you. Agree, Lewis, but Wednesday fans do massively overrate it. Andy Rowlinson, I don't care how many strikers you have out. Underestimate us at your peril. You seem to think you'll roll us over. Dream on. Wow, a strong statement there from Carl. A strong statement. Still massive. Keep up the good work and hope you win the award. Anthony Ella, thank you so much, Anthony. By the way, thank you so much. Yeah, nominated for the award over at the Real EFL. Amazing to be nominated and to get down to the final four. So, yeah, very, very proud and very thankful as well. Apologies for my lack of involvement earlier. 4-0 called up to talk to me about his gym workout. Well, you know, he's a muscly man. Our Tom, isn't he? Tom from 4-0 written over it is a muscly man. And he's just now telling Jake all about it. Now, he's not ringing me to tell me about it, so he must see that you've got a bit of gym expertise that I don't have, Jake. And he wouldn't be wrong. He wouldn't be wrong. Let's go then. Barnsley, 6th. Cambridge, 23rd. Concern at Cambridge. Concern there. I mean, we talk about a side that were doing really, really well last season. The drop-off has been so frustrating. And Mark Bonner, is it time? Is it time for my boy Mark Bonner to start looking over his shoulder and be worried about a potential job losing? I don't know. Barnes, by the way, I pause there just to read this sort of big chat that's come from Peter Parker's Pizza Face. We will come on to that comment. It's interesting. Have you done Bolton's prediction? I have. No, I didn't, did I? Did I even predict that game? I didn't, did I? So sorry. I'm going to go 2 or... I did like a 2-2. 2-2 then. Peterborough 2, Bolton 2. I'm going to go with. Barnsley versus Cambridge. Let's rally through the thoughts here. 65%, Cambridge 15%. I'll be honest with you. I see Barnsley. doing the job. They're in good form. Cambridge are not in good form. Home advantage will play a part. Barnsley right now look not unstoppable, but they look strong. Their recent form has been a little bit up and down, but I still feel as though they've got the quality to sort of see through this type of game. I'm going to go. Did I do a prediction? I don't know. You did Bolton. I did do Bolton, but I don't know whether or not I actually did a prediction. I think I chatted and then forgot about it. So 2-2. Barnsley, I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0. Barnsley, 2-0 against Cambridge. Yeah, Lawrence versus 2-0 as well. I'm glad we got some sort of agreement. I think Barnsley right now are in a good place. And Cambridge, they're struggling. They really, really are. And he says, Derby next, please. Let's do it. Let's do it for Andy Shippo. We always see him in here. So it's only right that we reward the ones that are always here and hopefully enjoying themselves. Wycombe against Derby County. Are the SofaScore live streams even any good? What do you mean? I don't know, mate. I'm doing one right now. So that's for you to decide. Are you talking about these here? I mean, they don't actually play the games because they don't have the rights to do so, but I think you can watch sort of like, and this is not sponsored, but I think you can watch these type. I think Bundesliga might have a couple, or Serie A in Italy. I think there might be a couple of games that sort of have the legal rights to show them, but you can't get League One games here because they don't have the rights. Young fan, can I please come to your house for a shower? I stink. That's got to be one of the weirdest comments I've ever read. And the answer to that question is no. But if you knocked on my door and said, I'm desperately in a shower, I probably wouldn't turn you away. But the answer probably would be no. There we go. Gamer, do they not stream the games on SofaScore? No, not these ones. They can't. They don't have the rights to do so. They just have it there for certain games, but you can't watch it. Look, so it's not available. Oxford 21st in the league. What, you reckon we're going to go down? No, I don't think so. Derby then, they're in ruthless form. Absolutely ruthless. They cannot stop winning right now. We speak about the top three. We speak about sort of sides that can sort of push in there. Derby are capable. Derby are very, very capable. And you can't really write off what we're seeing with Derby at the moment. I think we sort of always thought it was a 3-horse race. It's opening right up. It really, really is. If Derby win their game in hand, they go above Ipswich, and then things sort of get really, really tasty. It really, really does. So let's see what happens there. Ipswich getting promoted, says Matt. I Top 2 seems hard now, Matt. It does. They should be. The amount of money they're spending, they should be walking the league, really, financially, but that isn't how the league works. Unfortunately, that isn't how football works at this level. When people say League One's a bad league, well, it might be a bad league when you're not doing well in it, but it's a competitive league. That's fair to say. Even down to what we're saying to Matthew Bell, the legend that is Mr. Bell, in the chat. Hopefully you're well, sir. Hopefully you're well. I watch all your videos and really enjoy them. Great content. Keep it up. It's DUF Gaming. Thank you very much. Forgetting whose derby game in hand is against Jackie Boy. Let me guess. The mighty Lincoln City. Jake, is it a home game or an away game? Because that changes things, doesn't it? That does change things. McGoldrick, absolutely key to us at the moment. Argyle, Wheels are coming off. Poppy coming to Saturday to take the 3 points. John Martinez, Booze and White Army. Another McGoldrick hat-trick. Crybaby. 4-0. Derby. Look at far worse side without him, says Leo Massey. It's a tougher league than people actually think. It is. It is a tough league. 1-0 Wycombe. How low scoring, but end-to-end. Well, we know Wycombe are going to play fairly direct, so I wouldn't be surprised to see see an end-to-end game in that sense. Interesting fact, Bolton haven't conceded at home since the 2nd of December. We're at Pride Park on Tuesday, backed by 2,200, I think. Should be good. It's not home, though, is it, Jake? It's not home. You didn't very carefully answer my question there in a very good way. You tried to sort of soften the blow. Is it away? It is away. And that does change things. We know Lincoln are unbeaten at home. They don't win at home a lot, but they do. They're unbeaten. It's a good crowd, though. A good crowd. Dan, have you been drinking? Dan, have you been drinking? Top 2 prediction at this moment. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. Right now, short-term bias. Sheffield Wednesday, Plymouth. It probably will be. But Derby, we're coming to Derby right now. They certainly are in the mix, and Paul Warney's getting them ticking. And Wycombe as well. We know Gareth Ainsworth in this type of game. They turn up. Wycombe away from home is a horrible, horrible game to play because they are very, very good at what they do. Have you done Peterborough versus Wanderers? I have. I went with 2-2. Jack, I see your face on my... No. I'll read it. Jack, I see your face in my sleep every single night. It's getting to the stage where I start howling at night to make contact with you. That probably will be the last one I read out from Peter Parker's Pizza Face, but there we go. He is imagining me in my sleep talking about Wycombe versus Derby. We said earlier, stranger things have happened. Danny's on Lemonade again, says Graham. Lemonade does things to you. Mistake a lot of teams make it to try play, make it too hard and play good football against Wycombe. Leo, I agree. I think in this sort of game, Derby, they've got to be clever, and this is again a sort of a level of intelligence on a tactical perspective. Do not play good football against Wycombe. Play them their own game. Allow them to have the ball. Allow them to sort of play the way they want to play. Actually, don't do that, but stop them from doing it by playing their way, if that makes sense. Go and be a bit more direct. Don't tip the ball about with no movement because they're just going to pop you off. And then go forward. That was horrendous when it comes to football. A football breakdown. But there we go. Desmond, interesting. I'd probably take a draw. I broke my leg today. You're on the hospital TV with about 7 people watching you, says Josh Wick. That's a scary thought. That's a very scary thought. Having said the Wednesday, pal, Derby win. By the way, I hope you get better soon, Josh, with that broken leg of yours. That sounds pretty rubbish. I'm going to go Derby. Oh, you know what? Derby. Should I really annoy Derby and just go with my gut says Wycombe, just do it. My gut says Wycombe, just do it. I just know what Wycombe can do. I'll try again and explain what I was going to say. I was going to say about how if you allow them to have the ball, you're actually having a really big advantage. Yo, this is Graham Chapman. How you doing, Graham? Yeah, I'm sorry, Derby. I'm going to go 1-0 Wycombe. I'm so sorry, and I could have absolutely ballsed that up. But I'm going to go 1-0 Wycombe. I feel as though we've got Wycombe confident in what they do. I was just in there, Scotch 24 says 1-1 draw. I wouldn't put it past the game, but I probably would go with that. Right then, how many have we got left on this screen? We've done a big one, haven't we? And then we've got... That might be it after that, isn't it? I think it is. Got this one. which is the marquee fixture of the weekend. And then we've got a game between, who is it? Sheffield Wednesday and Ipswich. Who cares? In my opinion, Wanderers look strong, but tough game on Saturday against Peterborough. We just need to turn up, and that will put us in a great position. And if Ipswich continue, they'll bottle it. Straight to the point. Jake has got a similar to, if you've been watching for a while, you know that me and Mark Bonner, the Cambridge United manager, we go way back, and I have a real affection towards that man. He's a very good manager who is struggling at the moment, and if he does leave, then I wish him all the best in the future, wherever he goes. Maybe he goes to Oxford one day, I don't know. Similarly, Jake has the exact same feeling towards Ethan Urahan. As you can tell, I'm not quite as a fan as Jake is, because I can't pronounce his second name, but he's a good player. And Jake can't stop talking about how good he is. And I said he was good as well, and now Jake's trying to sort of pretend. I'd said for a long time, this player is something a little bit special. He's doing really, really well. Plymouth Portsmuth, I haven't done that. That's the game I need to... No, I haven't done that. Sorry, yeah, you're right, Graham. I said for a long time, he was playing for St Mirren in the Scottish League, and he was doing really, really well. The Forest Green Rovers looked at him. I think he was very, very close to Forest Green Rovers. We were looking at him. He's strong, he's physical, he's box to box. He's that bit of, he's a bit of energy, really, a real spark. And now Jake is pretending as though I didn't tell him the entire time. He's a Sun player. Are you backing another 6-3? Oh, 6-3 seems bold, Jake. It does seem bold. Bristol Rovers 13th in the league. Lincoln City 16th. Bristol Rovers are in horrendous form. 3 defeats on the bounce. One of them, an absolute battering. Was it the first of the defeat? No, it was the middle one, wasn't it? 5-1. 5-1. With our team, I can only see Lincoln battering us like they did at Argyle. Love your videos, mate. Best thing about us being relegated. It's a shame that we're going straight back up, really, Leo. Says Leo. Well, wait and see. Yes, you'll beat us 6-3. I think he's talking about the 6-3 earlier this season. I've just put 2 and 2 together, because that was the Jack Diamond masterclass, wasn't it? Jack Diamond was on fire on the day. The Gas are on a major slip. Still got to be positive, so I think I'm going to predict 2-1. You know what, Lincoln? I'm not just doing it because Jake's here. What's going on? I'm gonna go with a Lincoln win. Lincoln at home, by the way. Excuse me. Unbeaten. The Fortress at Lincoln. Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go 2-1. Honestly, after Saturday, I think we go and win the game comfortably. 3-1 Imps. I've gone 2-1, but yeah, I'll take. I'll tell you what, Jake's confident. Jake is confident. By the way, someone just said earlier, how did I forget Plymouth versus Portsmouth? I don't know. But I was very close to doing so. Plymouth, of course, now second in the league. They dropped away from top spot after that defeat against Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday. A 1-0 defeat does see them slip down to second, which is frustrating for them. The last 5 games fairly inconsistent, 2 draws and a defeat. Of course, the loss we spoke about there against the title challengers in Wednesday. Pompey, well, John Mousinho's Blues, they're doing okay, aren't they? They're doing okay. He has lost a game, but he's also won 2 and drawn against Barnsley in quite positive circumstances, you know, as draws go. You know, as draws go against Barnsley, there were a lot of positives there. I think Tom keeps saying about how there's enough positives each season performances to sort of encourage him. And, you know, in times like this, when you are sort of going through a transition period, that is positive and that is a good thing. It's all right, we'll beat Sheffield Wednesday at the weekend 2-0. Thoughts on Carl Dempsey and Giovanni Brown's situation? I can't comment on that too much. Yeah, I can't really comment on too much. To be honest with you, I'm not fully aware of the Carl Dempsey situation. I'll be honest. The Giovanni Brown one, again, obviously I don't have any other information other than the fact that what he's been accused of is obviously not very good and actually quite disgusting. But he hasn't been found guilty, so it's quite difficult to comment on a live investigation. But we'll have to wait and see. Not nice though, is it? It's not good. Yeah, I'm going to go. Let's have a little look at the odds here. Home Park. Now, Tom also, we should say as well, Tom doesn't have a little... Tom and Plymouth have actually got a little bit of a rivalry, because I believe a Wembley Stadium outing a few years back didn't quite go the way they wanted to. 49%, 29% to Pompey and Plymouth. They're 60%, so Plymouth are the favourites. I mean, it's a big test for John Messina. Arguably the biggest test that he's going to have as manager since he got appointed a couple of weeks ago. And this is going to be a real test to see exactly where they are. But the additions of Paddy Lane, Bernard had a really good game on his debut, not normally playing as a right back, but he did a good job and filled in there. He's showing positives. I think Towler's getting better and better. There's a really good squad at Pompey now, and it was always there, I mean, with a couple of additions in the January window. But I think we're now sort of stripping it back to basics, and now things are sort of getting better and better. And of course, Plymouth as well. We've got to mention they were doing very, very well, and still are doing well. 18 wins from 29 is not a bad record, is it? Being second in the league, that is of course a big thumbs up. But they were the recent form. You know, things are a little bit, maybe a couple of wheels, not falling off, but maybe loosening a little bit. But I'm sure they'll be screwed back on very, very soon. They've got a very, very good squad there, and they can't let that Sheffield Wednesday defeat derail their season. I don't think they will. I think there's a better mentality in that squad to allow them not to do that, but they've got to be careful they don't do that, because you know, if you start doing that, that can be one that you sort of look back in regret. But you do also still feel that that was important for the wrong reasons. It's tough. Now, I think Pompey would take a point at Plymouth, by the way. I think they would. And for that reason... Not for that reason. I mean, it'd be quite weird to sort of do an honest prediction based on what I think people would take. Otherwise, we'd all be predicting quite positive scorelines towards that agenda. But I'm going to go... Plymouth is just so good at home. Lost one game all the season. Won the rest at home. I'm going to go 2 on Plymouth. 2 on Plymouth. Yeah. Right then, let's move on to the final one. Ipswich versus Sheffield Wednesday. The little one of Sky Bet League One action. The little one. Brady Hambrough says, if Sheffield Wednesday back, we could draw with them, try and come play us, or beat them. We matched Burnley for 180 minutes, and they are the best team outside of the Premier League. Yeah, you did do very well against Burnley. You did. Right, Saver Score's just taking its time. It's fine. We can wait. We haven't got a rush to get into. Obviously not. Told Tom they'd lose. Yeah, I probably would go to Jake. What would you go, Jake, in Chestnut? While we get Jake's response and why everybody gives their thoughts on this game. Ipswich versus Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday now top of the table. Brilliant form. Great win over Plymouth. And now things are really now looking good. You know, it was looking good on the football pitch. Now you can look at a league table and go, right, things are ticking and things are looking, you know, really, really promising and tasty. Joint on points to Plymouth, but they have still got that game in hands that can be taken up to 3 points. And goal difference right now does see them separated from Plymouth Argyle. Ipswich currently third in the league. Recent form, a little bit sloppy, really. A little bit sloppy. And we speak about staying in the race and staying in competition, the competitivity of this league. You've got to be consistent. You've got to keep winning those type of games that they've dropped points to. They lost to Oxford. I mean, I'm an Oxford fan. You can't be losing to us. You know, there's been much worse sides on paper, you know, get results against us in the last couple of weeks. And that's something that a side like this should be seeing through. I went 2-0 Argyle. Got daggers from all sides of the Sunday Night Live. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised. There is a full Pompey lineup, but I get what you mean. Plymouth are going to bottle it like what Nick says. Andrew 2-2. Hart says 3-0 Wednesday. My head says 1-1. I don't think it'll be 3-0 Wednesday. I don't. And I rate Wednesday, and I also rate Ipswich, but I don't see it being that type of game. You know what? I can see a draw. Quite a tight game, but quite entertaining. Similar to one against Plymouth, but a draw. Plymouth? That's not right. Ipswich, 48% chance of winning. Sheffield Wednesday, 29%. So, quite heavy. Ipswich odds, actually. Quite heavy. Towards the home side. Very, very rare, that. I guess it is Portsmouth Road. I imagine it will be a sellout. I imagine it will be rocking, and the atmosphere, that sort of 12th man, if you like, from the supporters, will play a part. I'm going to go with draw, though. I've been fairly consistent in saying I think it probably will be 1-1. to be honest with you. I think I will go 1-1, which I think they probably will take Wednesday. Ipswich have got to win these type of games, though. They've got to win games. Maybe not this type of game, actually, but where they are now, they're forced into winning it, which isn't ideal. 1 in Ipswich. Interesting. Have I missed any games? I don't think I have. If I have, then I apologise. I don't think I have missed any games. Yeah, I think we're all good. Wednesday's away form is brilliant this season. 1-0 to Ipswich. Right then, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe. We have had a really, really good stream. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, we've had a really good discussion today. So it's great to have that interaction. 114 people leaving the stream right now. Please do, on the way out, leave a like. It's so easy. That little thumbs up button, hit it. It's free to do so. And it basically just pumps the podcast up the rankings and more people get to watch it, which is what we want to do. So please do that. If you haven't subscribed as well, we're on the road to 4.2, actually. So if you could subscribe as well, that would be incredible. Thank you so much once again. The interaction has been great. Ipswich's worst team at Hillsborough this season. So smashing Tom. Right, I'm going to go make some dinner because I'm absolutely starving. I've been speaking for a couple of hours. No, a couple of hours. Probably been. How long has it been? How long have we been live for? Just over an hour. So yeah, been really, really good though. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll speak very, very soon. And yeah, once again, I should say as well, thank you so much for all the nominations to be awarded in the Real FL Awards for Best League One blogger and vlogger. Jake says, top work as always, Jack. Speak over the weekend. Jake will be in regular contact over the weekend, and yeah, we'll catching up on all of the big games. MK Oxford, and of course Lincoln City in their big encounter, because that's the one that matters, against Bristol Rovers. Take care, everybody. I'll see you all very, very soon. Stay safe, and